Just apply this simple trick, and you may never have to replace the battery for your car again. Hey guys, I'm Dan, and you're watching Dan Fix. One of the worst moments for any driver is turning the key when you're in a hurry and getting no response from the car. That's exactly what happened to me this morning. So I decided to open the hood, inspect the battery carefully, and find out whether this problem could be repaired instead of replaced. Now, the first thing we need to do is confirm whether the battery is actually dead or if something else inside the car is causing the problem. So I grab a multimeter and connect it directly to the battery terminals, and the reading immediately shows 0 volts. That's a very serious discharge level for a car battery. To make the situation even clearer, I'm going to disconnect the battery completely from the car. But before removing anything, there's one important safety rule that should never be ignored. When removing a battery, always disconnect the negative terminal first and the positive terminal second. And when reinstalling it later, the positive terminal always goes back first, then the negative terminal last. Now we move deeper inside. Using a flat screwdriver and a small hammer, I carefully begin opening the battery cover. The screwdriver tip slides into the tiny gap around the lid while gentle taps slowly break the seal apart. This part requires patience because the plastic cover can crack if too much force is used too quickly. Little by little, the seal starts separating around the edges. And finally, the lid begins lifting away from the battery body. Now the inside of the battery becomes visible. The next step is draining the old acid solution out of the battery. The liquid pours slowly into a separate container, while dark residue and contamination begin appearing together with the old electrolyte. And honestly, over time, batteries often collect sediment and sulfate buildup inside. That contamination can interfere with conductivity and reduce the battery's ability to hold and transfer energy properly. So now I prepare a cleaning solution to help break down some of those deposits. The mixture is very simple: baking soda and distilled vinegar. Distilled vinegar mainly contains diluted acetic acid mixed with water, usually around 4 to 7% acetic acid and the rest water. When baking soda and vinegar combine together, they create a bubbling chemical reaction that helps loosen dirt corrosion and sulfate residue inside the battery cells. Immediately, the mixture starts foaming and reacting inside the cup. Now the cleaning solution gets divided evenly into each battery cell opening. The liquid slowly flows down inside while small bubbles continue forming. And now we wait about 15 minutes to let the mixture work. During this time, the solution helps loosen contamination attached to the internal surfaces and plates. And honestly, this stage is less about creating a miracle fix and more about restoring cleaner electrical conditions inside the battery. Now, after waiting long enough, the battery gets shaken slowly by hand. You can actually hear liquid moving around inside while loosened debris begins mixing into the solution. Then the dirty liquid is poured back out. And immediately we can see dark residue and contamination coming out together with it. At this point, we need to flush the battery thoroughly. So now clean filtered water gets poured into every battery chamber. The battery is shaken again carefully, slow side-to-side movement, gentle rotation. The goal is helping the clean water carry out as much remaining contamination as possible. And honestly, this flushing process matters a lot because leftover debris can continue interfering with conductivity later. Now the water gets drained back out again, and we repeat the cleaning process one more time. fresh filtered water goes back inside the battery. Again, the battery is shaken carefully to loosen anything still trapped inside. Then the liquid is poured out once more. This second rinse helps remove smaller remaining particles that were still left behind after the first cleaning. Now we return to the old battery acid solution that was removed earlier. Instead of throwing it directly back into the battery, I want to filter it first. So the liquid slowly pours through a filter into another plastic container. And now we wait a little longer so the heavier contamination settles at the bottom. Little by little, the liquid above becomes noticeably clearer while dirt and sediment collect underneath. That dirty material trapped at the bottom is exactly what we do not want going back into the battery. Once the solution looks much cleaner again, it's ready to return into the battery. Now the filtered electrolyte gets poured carefully back into each battery cell. Slow movements, steady flow, making sure each section receives a balanced amount. Then the battery lid goes back into position. And to reseal everything securely, I apply hot glue around the edges. This helps hold the cover tightly while reducing the chance of leaks or moisture entering later. By the way, where are you watching from today? And in your area, do most people repair old batteries like this, or do they usually replace them immediately? I always enjoy learning repair experiences from different places because many older mechanics still know incredibly useful recovery tricks that younger people rarely see anymore. Now, before reinstalling the battery, I want to clean the battery terminals themselves. So I use sandpaper to polish both terminals carefully. Over time, oxidation builds up on battery terminals and increases electrical resistance. That poor contact can reduce charging efficiency and make starting problems even worse. As the sandpaper moves across the metal surface, the dull, oxidized layer slowly disappears and cleaner metal begins appearing underneath. Next, I spray a little WD-40 onto the terminals and wipe them clean. WD-40 helps remove moisture and loosen contamination while also helping protect the metal surface from future corrosion. Now, I also clean the battery eye indicator. Many people don't even notice this small window on top of the battery. But it's actually a simple optical indicator used to quickly monitor battery condition and electrolyte status without opening the battery itself. Dust and residue covering this indicator can make inspection harder, so cleaning it helps make the condition easier to read again. Now the battery goes onto a dedicated charger. And this stage is important because the cleaning process alone does not fully restore battery power. The battery still needs a proper controlled recharge. After charging for a while, we're finally ready to test the result. First, the small light bulb gets connected again, and this time the bulb immediately lights up brightly. That already tells us the battery has recovered enough voltage to supply current properly again. Now the multimeter gets connected once more, and the voltage reading has returned to a much healthier level. And honestly, moments like this are exactly why understanding diagnosis matters so much. A battery that looked completely dead sometimes still has a chance to recover if the internal contamination and conductivity problems are handled correctly. And in emergency situations, knowledge like this can save both time and a surprising amount of money. So, what do you think about this recovery method? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe because there are still many more useful DIY repair ideas coming soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.